My name is Silas, and my friends and colleagues know two very important things about me. I'm a conductor, and I love coffee, especially espresso. No matter where I travel in the world, the first thing I try to do is find the best coffee shop and learn about the local coffee drinking habits. If I can, I try to meet up with old friends or make new ones in a coffee shop, of course, so we can talk about life, art, music, or whatever's on our minds. I found that there's no better way to get to know a conductor a little better than by having coffee with the maestro. Today I'm having coffee with the great maestro Kirk Trevor. Kirk has conducted over 40 orchestras in 15 countries, and he's currently music director of the Missouri Symphony. He's the most recorded conductor alive, with over 120 recordings to his name, and he's been teaching conductors for over 30 years. In fact, he's been my mentor for about 15 years, which makes him a really important influence on my life and career. So naturally, I'm excited to have coffee with him. Good morning, Kirk. How are you?
Hey, Silas. Great to be with you. Congratulations on your appointment.
Thank you. Thanks. Well, you're a maestro, and this is what you've been for decades, and now you find yourself more of an administrator and music educator.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, certainly, I've taught music appreciation classes at the University of Tennessee 25 years ago, or 20 years ago at least. Let me think. Well, yeah, 25 years ago. And back in those days, it was, the whole audio cabinet. And you put in a CD and you click track 7 and you listen to that, and then you took that CD out and you talk. We didn't have a lot of on-screen stuff to show them because that usually took too long. So you just passed around pictures, or you gave them. It was all paper material back in those days. Those seem like the easy days compared to now. I mean, obviously now it's much more exciting and interactive and engaging, but it puts so much more stress and work on us because the old type of teaching, which I don't think is functioning so well for the traditional college teacher, is you're speaking off the cuff, basically. You're talking about your love of music. This is why I love this piece. I used to do the whole Billy Joel album, River of Dreams, because that was kind of associated with Berlioz' Symphony Fantastique, which was also a drugged out piece, So
I didn't know there was that.
The whole tripping thing, and I just, for me, River of Dreams, the actual title song was so much like Symphony Fantastique, and the students really got it, when you kind of talked about it in your own personal ways. I think if you give them a paper or some kind of video thing, PowerPoint presentation, is not as powerful as the experienced professor who can talk from the personal viewpoint.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes music so powerful.
We have all these we have all the stuff that's online, so we have all these assets that are really convenient, but none of them are like being in person, face to face with the class, or even going to concerts. So in my music appreciation class, the students normally are required to go to a certain number of concerts every semester and write a review. But now they have to watch a concert on YouTube and write a review, and it's not the same because you don't get to sit in the chair and hear the concertmaster tune the orchestra, and you don't applaud, and you don't get to experience the music with other people. I don't know what people are doing while they're watching these YouTubes. I don't want to know.
Yeah, I mean, that's the sad thing, is that you put these wonderful YouTube videos up there, and that people are, going to the kitchen, getting a cup of tea and a cookie, and coming back in, 5 minutes later, and then they're leaving to go to the bathroom, and they come back, that whole leaving experience of the video is the one that we don't have in the concert hall. I would say, I would imagine that the biggest difference between live and virtual is that in the virtual performance, our mental focus is only there as long as that general 3-minute attention span that we have. And then we look at our phone and we take a phone call and we go to the bathroom. The concert experience is obviously not that. You can't leave.
Yeah. In my class is also, it's a strange kind of hybrid, so that one day a week I'm on Zoom with the students like we are right now, and 2 days a week the students they're on their own. They're watching a video that I've posted, or they're reading something that I've assigned. And so last week I gave kind of a quiz. Just, they have an exam coming up, so I wanted to see how they were doing, if they're getting the information. And I noticed that on the information we talked about on Wednesdays, when I talked to them on Zoom, they did very well. And on the other days, the information didn't quite sink in. So either they're not doing the reading, or they're not watching the videos, or it just isn't having the same impact as when I'm talking to them about it, even though it's all online. I think
that's what I think is the weakness of online, is it doesn't have that personal impact that watching it's like YouTube videos. Are the YouTube videos actually of live performances more powerful than the YouTube videos which are Naxos recordings?
I don't know. I think they are, because I like to watch.
Think they are.
I like to see musicians moving and breathing together, but it's all recording, so who knows?
Yeah, I mean, you could take two cellos as a great example of their stuff.
Yes.
Because I'm a great fan of two cellos, because, you know, as a cellist, they're great cellists, and what they've done for the cello has been enormous. And in fact, you know, a lot of their stuff, Thunderstruck and some of those early videos, are just so amazing, just amazing. But the cello playing is the thing that we all come away with thinking about. The cello playing and the music is so great. And on top of that, you have a great video. You're never thinking, when you're watching the video, you're never saying, oh, it's about the video. Oh, what do they do next? No, you're struck by the music as you're watching this video. And that's what usually is the problem with video, that it takes away from the music. And I think they're very skillful at the video enhancing the music. And obviously in well-edited orchestra videos, you know, Berlin Phil or Los Angeles, or anybody that has great directors, it really enhances it to see Dudamel do something and then look at the player respond to it and those kinds of things. I think, you know, rather than just a straight one-on video. The ones that we conducted all put on our YouTube channel.
I was so sad this summer that we didn't see each other in Czech Republic.
You know what was funny is that this summer, right when we would have been in the course, we were driving through Topeka on our way to Colorado.
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, that's right. I saw on Facebook that you and the family drove around. Where did you go? You went to Utah and Colorado, or?
Well, this just what month are we in now? So we're in September. So in August, we were in Steamboat Springs.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. We were in Steamboat because one of my parents had a beautiful condo there, and they offered it to us. And Micah just is a hiker and a mountain climber, and so she wanted to be in Colorado. My kids are not so crazy about mountain climbing and stuff, but we did it, they did it, and they actually enjoyed it.
Oh, did you see animals up there? There's a lot of mountain animals, and kids usually love that, like turkeys and.
Yeah, we saw enough elk and stuff that made it interesting. But you know, Steamboat Springs is only like 8,000 feet, so it seems less, shall we say, spectacular than Durango, which is 15,000 feet. You know, when you're really in the Rockies. Right. And Durango is spectacular because then you've got, you know, Mesa Verde National Park just 20 miles away, and you have all that red stuff. So I mean, Colorado is amazing because you have, when we were there the first time, we were in the Rocky Mountain National Park outside of Estes Park, and you know, I think it was April or May or something, and maybe later, and we were playing in the snow. You know, in June or July, and it was kind of exciting for them to be that high. But yeah, I mean, Colorado has just so many different topographies, which is spectacular for climbing and for hiking. So we actually did a trail out of Steamboat that was, I think we got up to 14,000. The fire, what do they call it? The fire place at a hut at the top of this mountain, which is it's a volcano actually. It's really volcanic. So the last 1,000 or 2,000 feet is on shale rock that keeps sliding. So you're really, so Aiden, we were a little nervous for Aiden because there's a 2,000 foot fall on the other side of this shale stuff. But yeah, it was exciting, and we love Colorado. But I think probably if I suggest Colorado again, Cece will kill me. So we've got to find a new place.
Someplace flatter, or does she like the beach or something?
Well, she loved Florida. Another one of Micah's students gave us their apartment in Highland Beach, Florida last year.
Oh, nice.
And the kids love swimming, and so they love the beach. And so, but we didn't want to go to Florida this time. And the kids understood we can't go to Florida. You know, we'll die if we go to Florida, basically.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you get to take them back to Florida next year or some other time. Hopefully we'll get to go to the Czech Republic next summer. That would be nice. We'll celebrate our 30th anniversary in the 31st.
Yeah, everybody's doing the anniversary a year late. Here's Micah.
Hey, hi,
Oh, hi, Micah. How are you? Nice to see you.
I'm good. Kirk mentioned that you guys will be talking today. Hey, listen, if you're ever driving on I-70 our direction, please stop by, okay?
I will. You're only a couple hours. I don't know if it's 3 hours or 2.5 hours. It's not so far.
Probably 3 from you. Yeah, I mean, it is quite a while still, but you know, we're close by. I know this is like crazy times right now. But
well, last time when you were driving through Topeka on your way back from Colorado, I think I was in New Mexico then. So
yeah, I think I saw your pictures. We didn't even think about that. Yeah, that was you guys were traveling, so. I saw your pictures. Let's see, there's like a nice little state park in Kansas with the weathered rocks or something. I always wonder if I should stop there when we drive to Colorado or not. It's still like 20 miles off of the highway, I think.
Yeah, no, some of the places that we visited are pretty far off the highway, but we were looking for places to visit and travel to this summer that were safe, not a lot of people. And so we found all these weird places in Kansas that we didn't know existed, but it was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Strange rocks and camping. Do your kids like camping? Do you guys like camping?
No, we don't camp that much. We have done a camper van trip, and they want to do that again. I have to talk Kirk into that again because we did a camping trip to Grand Canyon, and that was a lot of fun. But most of the driving is on him, so I'm not sure when he wants to take that on again.
I don't mind. I mean, it was just that particular camper. We went in March, and it was freezing cold in the Grand Canyon.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Yeah, mainly, well, when we went through Colorado, it was still snowing. Like spring break, it was still snowing. Southern Colorado. And then once we got to Arizona, it was fine. But yeah, New Mexico. It was a fun
March
trip.
is still cold in the mountains, of course.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you guys talk. I just want to say hello.
Okay, hi, nice to see you.
But I'm hopeful that it will not be as bad by next June as it has been this June, for sure. I mean, this June we're quite clear that you couldn't do anything. So I think
you mentioned European orchestras are starting to open and carry on like normal, and I've even seen a couple of American orchestras are having concerts. Usually they've got social distancing and masks on the players.
Springfield is open. Springfield is doing live concerts, only 40 players on the stage, and they've changed their programming to do, Prokofiev's classical or Peter and the Wolf and those kind of things, and lots of string repertoire. String players are doing great. So there are orchestras that are obviously trying to go ahead because they have a big enough stage to be able to do things. But I think the biggest problem for orchestras is whether the audience is going to come in.
Yeah, well, and for workshops. I mean, I can organize a workshop. I don't know if students are going to pay to come to a workshop, but I'm hoping that by next summer, everyone feels a lot more comfortable about it. Because never mind the business aspect of it, I just miss going. I love those workshops, and I love sort of the camaraderie of talking to other conductors and meeting other conductors, and this beautiful town that we always stay in.
But I mean, that camaraderie could still be there, and maybe, you know, that's one of the things that you could offer. I mean, you could, yeah, I mean, that might be one of the things that might be attractive to people. I mean, obviously, the cost, whether repertoire really is the key issue or not. And we have a chance to start anew, maybe not so much in the Czech Republic, because you have the opportunity to conduct Mahler if you really want to over there. And that's sometimes the attraction for people. I get to conduct a big repertoire, which I shouldn't be doing, but in America, I would never get that opportunity.
Right.
I think that's important for us to remember, that's why some people, when we had Mahler on the rap years and years ago, when you were doing them, those were the popular days.
Of course, yeah. Everyone would sign up. There would be 10 pieces listed, and every student said, "I just want to do the Mahler or the Brahms or the Scheherazade or whatever."
Yeah.
Speaking of
I mean, I only remember maybe the only memory that I come back to at the front of my mind is your Berlioz Symphony Fantastique.
I still don't like the piece.
It was quite clear from when you were conducting that you were just experimenting. Oh, no, I'll do this, we'll do this, I'll do this in 8, I'll do this in 16. And,
well, that's the other thing I like about workshops, is because I sort of know how to do this piece and that piece and the other piece. But at a workshop, you can try something you normally wouldn't do, or something that you think probably won't work, and you can try it anyway because there's not much to lose.
Yes.
Except for a little work time.
Beyond 2020, because 2020 is going to be you know, if anything more happens this year, 2020 is going to be the year that everybody remembers anyway.
Everybody will remember, but wish they could forget.
Well, I mean, we've got November to come yet, you know, so 2020.
And God knows what's in store for us in December.
Right. I mean, so what I'm saying is that the beyond 2020 might be, you know, a catch name for thinking new, thinking anew.
Yeah, starting over. No, you're not wrong about that. Well, so the Missouri Symphony last summer, the whole summer was canceled. Like, you didn't do anything. And then, are you planning to do a holiday concert like you do?
That's been canceled too, because the theater is owned by the university, and the university has said that out of those 1,200 seats, you can only have 142 people in there, and you can only have. So, you know, an orchestra can't afford it.
Right.
That's a big problem. It's a problem for many orchestras, is that even though you would love to go back and have your audience back or something, 300 people is not going to be able to afford, cover the cost of putting an orchestra on stage. So, yeah, the Christmas concert has been canceled. We're going to do a combination of some reimagining, some virtual performances from the last 5 years, but probably having some string quartets from the conservatory program, from chamber music, from the kids, maybe a brass quintet of local pros, playing in the lobby of the theater or outside the theater. And it will probably be a kind of 65-minute TV show, and we'll try and get the media to present it as a holiday special.
Oh. So, and you got the buy-in from local media or a TV station or somebody else?
We have 2 local medias that work with us. MediaCom, that tend to record all of our performances. They're the local cable channel, but not everybody gets it. You have to be on MediaCom to be able to get their local programming. So KOMU, which is the network here, they have always done a holiday special with high school kids, but since there's not going to be any high school choirs this semester, that program probably gotten canceled. And again, the theater, the University of Missouri is very strict. I mean, their protocols are so strict, it was almost a question of whether we really wanted to go through all of the hoops, because you could only rehearse for 22 minutes at a time.
Wow.
And then you had to air the room for 15, and then you could come back. No student could be in a room with other students for more than 20, maybe 25, and maybe for more than 25 minutes. before everybody had to leave, air the room out, spray it, disinfect every seat, every music stand. You had to spray. And there was a bar, the 6'3" bar that separated every chair had to be redone.
Oh my gosh.
So, it required a huge staff to be able to put in place any of these things. To put the orchestra in place meant you had to have this pipe that separated every chair, and every music stand had to be cleaned every 25 minutes. No pencils, no sharing of pencils. All the pencils had to be disinfected. It was a nightmare. So, yeah, they had the worst protocols here. I mean, the best in some ways, but the most stringent that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for your time, Kirk, and I hope that you and the family are well.
Thank you.